This is the second video on files, and this is dealing with the file access flags. If you're looking in your book, this will be some of the earlier things in the chapter. Definitely review, but I think it warrants going over again some of the topics. All right, we're going to start out with just a simple. We're going to open a file, we're going to put some data to it, and we're going to close it. Right, probably the first stuff that you actually did in files. All right. For this, again, all you need to work with files is FStream. And because I'm dealing with output, I'm going to use the OF stream here and make a file called data file. I got some basic prompts in here just to, for the output to the screen to let you know what's going on. I'm going to open data file. It's going to open a file called demofile.txt. I use the naming the same as the book did for that. All right, this file does not exist yet, right? The system will actually open up the file and we can write out to it. That's what the iOS out is for. In the book, it's got a lot of flags, but they're really basically for our use. I only see any real need for out, all right, append, which is APP, all right, and in. The other ones, truncate, binary, I don't see a lot of use for them, especially in what we're doing. Truncate actually works a lot like out in that it gets rid of the file and the file before it. So I think this demo will show that. All right, I'm going to open up this file. All right, data file.open in double quotation marks, demofile.txt, and my flag is iOS : out. Right. I'm going to see out to the screen writing the data file as this happens. Right. My data file, which is going to write Burrow, Chase, and Hubbard to the data file, and then I'm going to close the file. All right. Here's my files over here, right? You can see from this that the file demofile.txt does not exist. All right. Run the debugger. All right. That's done. Go to my file, and you can see demo file is right here. I open it up, and you can see there's Burrow, Chase, and Hubbard in the file that the system created. All right, I'm going to extend this just a little bit. Control X. All right, I'm going to see out the screen reopening the file. I'd close this file here, and I'm reopening it. All right. Now I'm going to do something a little extra. I'm going to make it output, iOS output, and append. What this will do is those three names that I wrote, it'll open up the file and it'll write out these three next names that I put here. These lines here is just for my output onto the screen, but the file is going to have Reader, Higgins, and Hilton added to it. Again, last thing I do, and I know you've heard this 1,000 times from Dr. Zimmer, is close the file. Okay, again, it's going to open the file that I just wrote, I just started, and it's going to append three names to the end. Okay, it's like the cursor has been left at the end of the file, and the cursor is going to go to the end of the file, and we're going to add these three names. All right, that's done. We go to our demo file. And you see it's taken the next three names and appended them at the bottom of the file. And I do realize that all this is review, but I think it's stuff that this first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the semester, Dr. Zimmer's got written into the syllabus for review. And it's just to make sure that you have a strong, well, just a strong background um, before we get started. On, I'm not going to say the more difficult stuff, but definitely the more in-depth stuff in your first year of computer science. Our February, March, and April will be some real software engineering type topics. So one more thing I want to do before we left this. I'm going to open a file for the third time, and it's going to be out, right? I don't need this. Oh, I've got that. All right, and we're going to open the file with the 6 names, and I'm going to write 3 more. Basically, this is just to show that when you don't use the append and you use the out or the truncate, it just writes directly over the file that you had. So run the Windows debugger. You can see all these open and closed. It's nice when you're working with files is to actually put stuff onto your screen just to know that things are working. This would have worked fine with this program would have worked fine without anything on our output screen, but it always is nice to see that everything went off without a hitch before you check your file. Open up my demo file. Hopefully I have 3 names, and it's Hurst, Williams, and Mixon. It's overwritten the first 6. All right, so everything went off like we wanted it to.